Okay, hi, my name is Carolyn Bindle. I'm president of Fashion Academy. We train image consultants all over the world and then send them out there so we make sure that everybody's dressed and ready for that business world.
Well, one thing I did forget.
You did forget the pocket square.
It does make you look nice.
Yeah. Maybe you can borrow Don's. Anyway, but we are here at BOCI TV, and we want to welcome everyone here, our studio audience, our virtual audience, and most important, our archive audience, because that's where we're going to really pick up some people. So we want to welcome all of you here. You can, if you're watching right now live on Ustream, you can go to Twitter at BOCoffee, hashtag BOCI, and we have someone here answering any, letting us know if you have any questions. But you can also go on and go to businessovercoffee.com, set up your free profile. You need to do that. We need to know who you are. Do put your contact information on there, because it doesn't, I can't get you as a guest on this show if I can't contact you. So make sure that you have that contact information going. Here at Business Over Coffee, we bring everyone together. This is your first time here, so
Yes, glad to be here. Thank you.
We are in connections, collaboration, exposure, and business, and that's what we're all about. And this is Bob Midgett, and let me tell you, this man, the reason, I'm gonna tell y'all why he's here. We've never met, okay? But through LinkedIn, through groups on LinkedIn, he sends out emails all the time. And I felt like I knew Bobby Midgett. Because he's always out there, you know, talk to me about this radio show, talk to me about this radio show.
Social
And,
media.
yeah, he is
yeah.
out there, and so he is here today because of his persistence, and I just feel like he's a friend because I see him on my email all the time. And you started out teaching Bible on the radio.
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
And
Many years
yeah,
ago
and
now.
then producing commercials, and then you were asked to do a talk show.
Well, that came in a strange way. Actually, I went into a radio station and sitting there talking with the vice president about buying time for a commercial. So we were sitting there talking, and all of a sudden he was just staring at me while I'm talking, and I'm saying, wow, this guy's just looking right dead in my mouth. And so then he stopped me in the middle of the conversation, and he said, have you ever did a talk show before? And I was wondering, where did all this come from? So,
That's because you've got this deep, commanding voice.
But then I said, well, no, I haven't. So then he invited me to do a talk show. So I started doing the talk show, and then from there, they asked me to be a DJ. I started playing music, doing commercials, and went on and on and on. Program director of the station, and training other announcers, and it just went on and on. Also had the great opportunity during the presidential election one year to interview Al Gore and Joe Lieberman when they were on their campaign trail through the city of Jackson, Tennessee.
Wow.
And so that was one good thing along the way, and several other things we had opportunity to do, to interview the governor's wife and some other celebrities and things of that nature, which is a great opportunity to be able to do.
Great fun little thing, yeah.
Yes,
I've got a friend that hosts local television here, and every once in a while I have to call her up and go, I think I'm jealous. You spent the morning with Morgan Freeman. Oh my gosh. So yeah, good job to have. And it all landed you at Talkback Life.
Yeah, we came to Memphis, and it's hard to get back into radio here in the way that I was in the other city. So I was sitting down one day, and the idea came to me to do a talk show.
Uh-huh.
And so I asked which is now my co-host, actually he's my son, a lot of people didn't know that, but I'm giving, for those that don't know right now, I'm giving the secret away.
Uh-huh.
He is my son. And so we decided to start the show, and we call it Talkback Live with Bob and Josh.
Uh-huh.
And so from that moment on, it landed where we are today. We started as a community talk show, bringing people in from the community to talk about things that go on in the community, to let people be aware of what's happening and going on around them, what they have available for them. And so then it evolved into sports. Now my son, he's a lover of sports. I think right now he's only 20 years old. He could get up on ESPN and compete with the best of them.
Awesome.
He's just that good. And as a little boy growing up, he's always loved it. He could just rattle off names and numbers and stats. And I was thinking, how in the world is this little boy able to do this? So he followed it, and he was dedicated to it. And so
Season tickets?
season ticket. So this is how I said, okay, I'm going to do this. I didn't know too much about sports. But I said, I'm going to do it for him. I'll learn sports. So we started doing sports radio.
Son taught dad.
Yeah,
That's
and he's
awesome.
still doing it.
He's still doing it.
Well, I take my trade in radio communications, teach him how to do it on radio. He takes his sports abilities and knowledge and say, okay, Dad, here we go. So he helps prepare the show, give me the information I need. Not that I don't, know anything about football, how to run. I did play a little sports back in my high school days. But he gives all the information. Right now, he's at home preparing for the show this afternoon.
Now that's one thing that's why I really wanted somebody from radio who's on air to be here, because we have, BOCI has Blog Talk Radio, so we have a lot of radio show hosts among Blog Talk Radio, and myself included. Preparation, what's that involved? I mean, you said he's at home right now preparing for the show this afternoon.
Right.
What really is involved in that preparation?
A lot goes into preparing for a radio show, as well as a television show. Now, I'm a believer of being well prepared, as
Yes,
Dr. Flynn came on earlier.
Yes.
Make sure you have
He
them.
had
I don't
his
have notes.
He had his notes and everything, yes.
I don't have notes, but I got them here. But well prepared for your show. Know what you're going to talk about. Know who your guests are. Kind of have some basic general idea of questions, what you're going to talk about with your guests, if they're going to call in, if they're going to be in the studio, so you know what the show is going to be like. And then when you go on, when your show comes on, you're prepared, you're relaxed, you feel comfortable about your show, and you know that, hey, if you feel comfortable about your show, other people are going to feel good
Everybody
about your
else is
show,
good.
and they'll be able to receive what you're saying and enjoy the show. That's the main thing you want to get out there. You want people to enjoy the show and what you're presenting to them. And so present it in a good professional manner, and that's the thing I strive for and tell our people all the time. Make sure what you do, you have your knowledge, you have the research, you've done your research, you know what you're going to talk about, and when you get there, make sure it's done professionally. And so we wanted to make sure that everything is well prepared. And there's a lot that goes into it. Sometimes people get, come a little short of preparing for it. But the thing about it, I am a stern person as far as when it comes to that, believe it. But then it's okay, just prepare for it next time. This is what you do. Sit down with them, talk with them, walk them through it. Blah, blah, blah. This is what you do. So, and we have good people working with me, and I applaud them.
That's awesome.
All kinds of people working with us, and some new people that just come on board. And, we got other people calling us, wanting to be a part of what we do.
That was my next question. How do you secure guests? How do you get? Hey, Zach, I want you to come on tonight. Zach Randolph, for those of you who are
Yes,
not
indeed.
Memphis Grizzly fans. Hey, Mark, come on.
Yeah, as a matter of fact.
How's your brother Powell?
Yes, indeed. As a matter of fact, those that don't know who the Memphis Grizzlies are, they will be in
They
town
will
this
right
Saturday.
now. Yes, let's hear it for our Grizzlies. Yes.
They will be in town this Saturday, and they're doing very, very well. Don't get discouraged about what they're doing if you're a Grizzly fan.
Home court advantage.
We believe they can come back and do it. Tip-off time will be this Saturday night at 8 p.m. at the FedEx Forum.
And
So
you'll be there, right?
I'm planning to be there. If not, I'll have one of my representatives there, making sure they get interviews and things like that with the players, the post-game interviews with the coach and that type of thing.
Do you do special reports then, or do you just incorporate that into your regular show?
As far as
Special interviews that you would give?
we do the interviews. When they get the interviews, we edit the interviews, and then we put them into our show and play them at certain times during the show and things of that nature. And sometimes we have live guests. Like you're talking about live guests. How do we get the guests?
How do you get the guests?
We go through a list of people, and then people that we know that in the news, and we try to get them to come on the show. And sometimes it becomes a difficult task. You have to go through marketing, and you have to go through public relations and things of that, media relations, and have to get the right person. But once you get the right person, and then you go through the channels and the emails and things of that nature, then you'll finally get to the people. And sometimes you don't get who you want all the time. Maybe I may want Zach Randolph, but I'll end up getting another player. But hey, better than nobody.
Grizzly.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But and we look for people that can give us good information to our listeners. And as a matter of fact, we also have not only the people that work with us locally here, we have people that come on our show from across the country.
So my next question was, do you pretty much keep it localized where, Coach Passner, for those of you watching, that's our basketball coach at University of Memphis.
Right.
Or do you reach out beyond and bring in outside also? I'm not a big sports person. I watch, but I don't do all the other stuff.
Well, I tell people, I say, listen to our sports show. It's kind of different. We like having fun. We try to make it fun where you can, bear the pain if you don't like sports.
my daughter comes, she goes, I work in the warehouse now, and in the mornings, the manager plays ESPN radio. I'm so bored. But she knows all this sports information now.
Yeah. Oh, my.
But you're not that monotone, you're fun.
Yeah, we're fun. We like having fun. We like laughing. And so from time to time, we'll look up clips and funny clips and things to play and laugh about it and then go on and talk. We have phone calls and then special guests from across the country. We have correspondents, people that work with us all across the country, Los Angeles, Denver, Minnesota, New York, Washington, D.C., at Birmingham, all over the country that call into our show, and they're well prepared to do interviews with us and talk about whatever we want to talk about in that particular subject, whether it's hockey, golf, baseball, football, basketball.
And golf just finished one of their big ones.
You're right, and we do have a big one coming up here starting June the 6th through the 9th in Memphis, the St. Jude Classic. And we're covering that right now as well. And as a matter of fact, we're giving away tickets to the St. Jude Classic and the baseball game and all of the other stuff is going on here. So
you going to talk to Indianapolis?
We do that as well. Not as much. But we do have some race car drivers that do follow us and we correspond with and that can come on and talk with us about that. We try to do a well-rounded particular type sports show. Most of the time you hear people talk football, basketball, and the core things, but we try to do it all. Yesterday we had a well-rounded conversation about golf and things of that nature. So, and I'm learning as I go because I wasn't a big sports guy, but I'm learning as I go, and it's one of the things that are working out very, very well for us and very, very, very successful.
Okay, what would be the key to getting guests that are not local for those of us who are doing Blog Talk Radio type shows? What's the key to doing that? How do you get that connection?
I'm like you. I connected on LinkedIn.
Okay.
And I go through social media and I look up these people, and some of the people that follow us on Twitter. I look at their bio, I look and see who they are, and try to figure out why they follow us and things of that nature. And some of the people that follow us, then I contact them if I'm interested in them, and feel that they're qualified to come on the show and talk. I want people that are very well qualified to come on and talk about us, that know what they're talking about, and so our audience can be able to get a good knowledge and understanding of what's going on in that particular sport. So then I hit him on Twitter, ask him to correspond back with me, send me a phone number. I send my number. We get in a conference call and talk to him, and we decide, okay, yes or no, we want this particular person to talk about this on our show. And so that's how we make our decision. And so we choose the best people we feel that are, and they have to fit with you. You know, and that's very important. They're not particularly qualified all the time. They may be particularly qualified to talk with someone else, but probably not where you are and what you're particularly doing, your goal.
Now, what's another thing that, is promoting that radio show, getting it out there, letting people know. Now, you're on broadcast, right? 7:30 AM 7:30, by the way, in case you were wondering. Is it also broadcast, like Dr. Flynn was saying, across the world, okay, on the internet? You could hear us at yahoosports730.com, and we're there. And also you could follow us again on Twitter, and on our Facebook page. I went on there to look.
And you could go to our Facebook page. We're always putting stuff up on Twitter and on Facebook, and pictures and things like that. Even some things that go on in the studio. You can find out the latest information that's going on about the show. And also, when we first started our show, we were talking about community talk. When we first started, before we evolved into sports. We've also went back to that, and at the end of our show, we like to bring someone on twice a week now that's in the community, that knows news, and report to us and talk with us about local events and things that are going on and are happening here in the Mid-South and across the nation.
Well, let me suggest a guest for you for that time frame. I suggest Sherry Henley from Business Over Coffee International.
That would be wonderful. I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea. As a matter of fact, my personnel will get with her, and we'll get with her after the show, and we will get her on.
That's awesome. Yes,
love that.
There we go. Okay, we have a question back here.
Yes. I'd like to know, do you just do your interviews with professionals, or do you do it on a local level with our high school athletes, or anybody involved in sports?
We do it locally and nationally. We interview national players, professional players. We interview local professional players and local high school and college. And along with the coaches locally, and we've had coaches on nationally, college coaches, and things of that nature that we talk to.
We have the national team right now. Is it Melrose or Is it Melrose? Who was it that had the movie and everything done on it?
Melrose.
It was Melrose? Did you have them on?
We've had Melrose on before, the coaches there and things like that. We've talked to them, and several high school coaches on. One of the things that wasn't being covered enough in this area, and I'm glad you mentioned that, is the high school sports. A lot of people like to talk about the national scene, the college scene, and things of that nature. Then we were talking one day, there's not enough local sports being covered on the radio where you can talk about it. So we decided that we were going to get coaches, contact them. It wasn't easy, but we contacted the local schools, and some people knew some coaches that, how you go around, certain, and you find out, so you connect with them that way. And so now we have those people on our show, and we talk about those things, and we keep those things going locally, even local recruits.
Yeah, because Los Angeles kind of proud of one of their alumni.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mark Gasol.
Mark Gasol, indeed.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, he made the Defensive Player of the Year in the NBA.
I rubbed that right into the face of my LA Laker son-in-law, who is, I even bought him the wrong Gasol jersey.
We have activity on Twitter. We'd like to do a shout out to Tina Tantum, who was on.
Tina Tantum?
Yes.
She was on. We've had her on. Hello,
exactly.
Tina.
She says, always a great lineup. Plan on connecting again soon.
Awesome.
Then she also followed us, and 2 others followed us. Then we have Y Woods Harris says, great guest with variety and value for BOCI. We
Thank
are
you.
so proud of Cheryl, says Why Woods Harris.
Yes.
Then we have Jerabal, who favorited, everyone has a story and it needs to be told, when Don was up. Lloyd Humphreys favorited, help the story of an entrepreneur by telling your story and Don can help you make it work.
Good
Then we have
job.
Melinda Reed retweeted, know what you were going to say and fear goes away by Dr. George Flynn.
Yes.
Talkback Life Sports over here retweeted one of our photos, it looks like. And then we had Leslie Loth, who favorited, we are back live on Ustream. So there you go. We've got a lot of activity going on.
Artists out there. Very good.
We also want to mention our sponsors, Organo Gold Coffee, and please get your free profile set up on BOCI, businessovercoffee.com, and have a cup of coffee on us. And say,
I
"This
have
is
had
yours."
one. Thank
had
you,
one,
and I'll have
it's-
another one.
You'll take another one.
It is good.
And then our Plexus Slim, the skinny pink drink. Like I said, you can Google that, and this is what will come up. Huh? You like it? Oh.
Oh,
we
text
have a-
messaging,
oh,
yes.
Oh. Burnett Marketing provides anyone new to BOCI or a guest of BOCI in the audience, viewing or listening, so y'all pay attention here, business owner, professional, or nonprofit organization to use our text marketing service to cut costs and expand your business for $1 for 15 days. That sounds right up your alley. Well, you're using social media?
Mhm.
Okay. The features include unlimited instant access to customers, a QR code, social media posting, mobile website builder, Bob Midgett wizard, virtual business card, and survey polls, autoresponder, and more. And Pastor Burnett is going to be one of our guests next month at this BOCI TV Share.
And what you just shared is in conjunction with BOCI, with our text at 55469 BOCI Cruise. Anyone in the virtual world can do that now.
Yep, okay. We are really running low on time, but I want to ask you one more question, please. I'm pushing it, our video people are probably going, what the world? But promoting the radio show, how do you promote the radio show?
Well, you word of mouth, social media.
Obviously works, right?
We're on there all the time.
Uh-huh.
And so we, Facebook, Twitter, our Talkback Live email address is talkbacklive7@gmail.com. You follow us on Twitter at Talkback Live. And you can go to Facebook, Talkback Live with Bob and Josh. And we always say like our page while you're there. And you can contact us at 901-283-2556. And it is very important to promote the show. When you promote when you feel good about your product, you
There you
like
go.
promoting it.
There you go.
Not that you're bragging on it, but you feel you have something to say that's going to help
Something
someone
worthwhile.
else, something worthwhile, and it's good to let the people know what's going on. And so we're glad about that, and we're glad to be here, by the way.
Well, make sure you get your free profile set up.
We're going to do that.
And get things going and working with Sherry and get Sherry on your show. I think that'll be awesome. And one more request.
Mhm.
If you can get me Kobe Bryant's autograph, I will be I will get the Mother-in-law of the Century Award.
Well, I tell you what, if I can get Kobe Bryant, I'd be very happy.
There you go. Thank you, Bobby Midgett, for coming. This is Talkback Live,
Live.
AM 730,
Yahoo Sports Radio.
Yahoo Sports
3
Radio.
p.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and soon we'll be on television, MUTV1, Channel 31 Comcast, and it'll be from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30. It's a 1-hour show, and I think it's the only one of its kind in the Mid-South where you got radio sports and live television sports show where we show play-by-play and things of that nature, highlights, and we talk sports from around the world, and that's what we'll do in 1 hour, and so check us out.
Call me and I'll make sure that your suits are wonderful for that show.
Thank you. I believe you will.
Thank you, BOCI TV, businessovercoffee.com. We want to thank our guest today, Bobby Midgett. You have
Thank
been
you.
wonderful. I'm glad we finally met face to face. Like I said, we've known each other for, I think, a couple of years now
Yes.
via LinkedIn emails. So this is awesome to finally actually get to meet face to
Thank you.
face. Thank you very much.